All right, we're just going to wait a little bit here before we start seeing some people. I had to make a safe area for these guys because they're actually starting to move around a little bit more. But it has been some time since we've done a live stream. And first I want to say hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today we have 18-day-old Frenchton puppies. They are a cross between the French Bulldog and the Boston Terrier. And the purpose for that is to have just a little bit more pep to the step and a little bit longer face in hopes to have a more versatile French Bulldog. Here at North Country Little Pawz, we focus on the Frenchton aspect of everything, but we also have the program that's a complete entity that we are calling Fire Sky Frenchies. Both of them are two separate programs that are run from the same location, okay? So with that said, I've changed my YouTube channel to focus on both of the Frenchton and the Frenchie videos. They are not to showcase the programs in particular, but kind of showcase the dogs. And this channel is made for comfort, for people to go to watch something cute, something adorable that can provide comfort to the people that are watching. So with that said, this channel is no longer considered North Country Little Pawz. It is all considered Little Pawz, meaning Little Pawz. So that way we can talk about both programs and what we do and our missions behind it. So with that said, on this channel, you will be seeing both Frenchtons, and I will specify which program which program that they are under. You can follow us both on Fire Sky Frenchies on Facebook, and you can also follow us also on North Country Little Pawz on Facebook as well. Again, this channel is going to be focused on both Fire Sky Frenchies and North Country Little Pawz, hence the name change. So a lot of those that have been following me for some time, if they go back and they look at our channel, they're going to notice that I have gotten rid of over 500 of our uploads. The reason behind that is because when I was looking back and I was kind of taking a step back and I was looking at my past videos to see, okay, why is it that when we're doing live stream, people are watching, but yet after the live stream, it kind of goes dead, right? So that does happen to a lot of channels. But when I was looking at my videos, I wasn't really happy with the quality of the videos. The quality of the videos, because the majority of them were live stream, we dealt with either audio issues or we dealt with video, audio or visual issues. And we want to make sure that when you guys are watching these videos that you have something of quality to watch, okay? So with that said, I was like, all right. And I even thought about actually like going of the channel, but I have worked so hard in the last 2 years to make this a place of comfort, a place where people can come enjoy. They can watch their puppies grow. They can see how we take care of our dogs. And there's a lot of aspects that come into breeding. And we want to be as authentic and we want to be as transparent as we possibly can get. Sometimes transparency can kind of bite you in the butt. But for the most part, it's really good to see a breeder that's out there that is willing to share how the dogs live, how the puppies are taken care of, how the puppies are socialized, what we do to try to prevent some issues. And, you know, as we go with any venture that you do, you learn new things. You have to take step backs to move forward. And, you know, that's the struggles that we deal with. So with that said, moving forward on this channel, there is going to be more, so that way I am not going to get into the burnt out stage like I was getting to when Nugget was having her babies. 18 days ago, I was so burnt out with trying to take care of her, trying to take care of my other dogs, and trying to make sure my community was updated, that I was overdoing myself. So I want to continue doing those things, but I want to do it at a pace where I want to do it at a pace that's sustainable for me, that gives you guys a better visual, gives you all that transparency and everything that my so that's what, that was my goal, is transparency, being authentic, and letting you guys kind of into our lives and what we do with the dogs. Don't worry, I'm going to be getting to them in just a few moments. I just have a little bit more that I'd like to talk about about our channel. So moving forward, starting in May, I was going to do my next live stream on next Sunday, but I had a lot of people, reaching out to me and say, hey, we really miss your Sunday lives, because I didn't do one last week. I was burnt out, rightfully so. So what we're going to be doing is I put myself together an agenda and a list, and I already have topics that I want to do videos on. We're going to do more vlog-like videos that are pre-recorded, possibly 10 minutes, half an hour before I put them online, but something that if I stumble on my words, or I don't have a clear explanation, I can actually, not make it as boring for you guys. So therefore, moving forward, we are going to continue with our Sunday lives at 10 o'clock. We are going to also be doing, because our focus is on a therapeutic level, such as stress relief, we are going to be doing videos. As a matter of fact, I have one that's downloading right now. It's 4 hours long. It is a video of our dogs that we have with some ambient noise. So that way, when you need something just to watch and listen to that's calm, that can bring you down and give you some stress relief, you have that you can watch. And it's also great. We play those type of videos for our dogs all the time. So we find that's very therapeutic, and we want to be able to see our dogs and see our program and listen to something nice, calm, and relaxing at the same time. So we have those videos that we're going to be starting to do. Our goal right now is just 1 4 to 8 hour video a week that's ambient in nature, that's calming and stress relief. We're looking at continuing our Sunday streams, and then and as far as everything else, like the birthing of the puppies and the challenges that we're doing, we're not going to do those live stream anymore. But what we are going to do is we're going to do a vlog style recording and have those type of videos out there. And we're going to focus more on those type of things. If we do the pre-recorded, it's just as authentic. It's just a better visual for you guys, and you're able to see things better. Like, I don't know right now, we're recording live, but I don't know if your visual is a-okay. So there is a person that's on right now. How is the visual? How is the auditory for you on this live stream? That is my biggest hiccup when it comes to live streaming, is the really poor quality. When I was looking back on my videos, I was like, no, I can't keep on. If I'm going to continue this channel, because honestly, 2 weeks ago, I was going to give up on everything that I've worked so hard on for the community, and with people reaching out and expressing their desire to continue seeing those videos, we're going to continue doing them. So with that said, let's get on to the babies. So today they are 18 days old. Today we are going to do their weights. We're going to do their deworming. We're going to do their sensory. They've already done their neurological training, so we are going to be still getting them used to the vibration of the nail file. We're going to get them used to that. We're going to get them used to different noises, because they now can hear. So I brought out one of their squeaky toys. Okay, now I know. So we will do that type of stuff. They are growing fast. They are nice and healthy and chunky, and I am so anxious to be able to tell you how much these guys weigh. Now, when they were born, they weighed between 9 and I think 11 ounces, and I can tell you right now, they have I'm certain they have tripled their size. They are nice, big potatoes. And this is what we want to see. We want to see big puppies, okay? Big, healthy puppies. Actually, it doesn't matter if they're big. They just need to be healthy. So let me get back onto their computer screen, and we're going to continue. I put some nice little braces over here, so that way, so that way they won't fall. Let us see. I'm going to go to their puppy. I should have had this done. I'm always slow when it comes to this stuff. But, okay, my litter. Oh no, what happened? Oh, what a dum-dum. All right, I'm going to have to put her back. All right. I had made some changes to my program, but anyhow, that's okay. I remember last week what they weighed, and I am going to unarchive. Oh, how do I do that? Shoots and badoots. I can't believe I just did that. Update. Let me see if I can do this. Unarchive from the banner above to change the status. Okay, why isn't it letting me? All right, so I'm gonna have to unarchive it. I had archived her. Shoots. Well, that's a bummer. All right, well, add. All right, well, I guess I'll wait and I'll get back to it. Not a big deal, not a big deal. Okay, so here we have Mr. Micah. Mr. Micah here. How gorgeous this guy is. Actually, I can't really say anything. They're all absolutely gorgeous. Okay, 18 days old. Look how thick this puppy is. Now this, if you're just tuning in, this is not a purebred Frenchie. It is a Frenchton, which is a French Bulldog mixed with a Boston Terrier. We do that just to provide a little bit more agility and a longer face when it comes to the French Bulldogs. These are more for how do I say that? They can be couch potatoes, but they can also be a little bit more athletic. Don't get me wrong. The Frenchies can be athletic, but these are more of the type that can go hiking with you and all that other stuff. So anyhow, so Mr. Micah right now weighs 2 pounds. Oh my goodness. He weighs 2 pounds, 7.8 ounces. He is almost 3 pounds at 18 days old. 2 pounds. Oh, what? Okay, let's do this again. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Big boy. He is 2 pounds. Oh, 8.4. My goodness gracious, dude. 2 pounds, 8.4. Unbelievable. So we've been working on this a little bit. We haven't not done it every day, but we're doing it as often as we can. Right now, their nails are still a little bit too small for me to use this, but I can at least give them the vibration feeling so they can get used to it, and then they won't be so scared of it when it comes to nail filings later on. Now, as they get closer to 7 and 8 weeks, it'll be different. They'll be able to do that. So, but at this time, I am going to clip their nails only because they are a little long here, and we want to make sure that they don't snag and tear and claw at mom, because this is the time where mom in the next week is going to start weaning them. Okay. Because they're going to be, they scratch at mom and they hurt mom. And they're also going to start getting some teeth here in the next couple of weeks. So usually we wait for the puppies and mom for feeding. So we're not right now feeding them food. They're only 2.5 weeks old, but in the next week and a half, we could probably say that we're going to be starting them on mush. We usually wait for mom and for puppies to tell us. And this is a great time for us to start with their nail clippings, because when we do them every week, sometimes depending on the litter of puppies, some of them we have to start earlier. We have to start clipping. We have to start doing their nails twice a week because they grow so fast. They're growing so fast at this time. So this is Mr. Micah. Now, Mr. Micah has also, which is normal for puppies, we have to wipe his eye because he might have gotten a little bit of dirt or something. So he's got a little bit on his eye. We're going to keep an eye on that. And we just make sure to use a wet cloth and just wipe it off. It's just like us when we wake up in the morning and we got dry crusties on our eye. And that's what he has. It's a little dry crusty, so nothing major. And then we are going to actually start our deworming today. We deworm on Sundays because we like the routine of having it done. So that way we don't think, did we do it? Did we not do it? We do it. So what we start off right now is with a parental. And go with your vet. If you ever have deworming needs for your dogs, you go with your vet and what they recommend. And we have a deworming schedule that we put together. And we're always changing this parasite control because sometimes dogs, certain treatments tend to get resilient from what they're supposed to. So that here, me struggling with my words here. So parasites get resilient with the type of stuff that we use. So parental is actually very, very good for deworming puppies, and they do not mind the taste. So this is Mr. Micah, 18 days old. And once I fix the issue with the computer, then I can all I have to do is actually just unarchive the mom, because when I archived the mom, I mistakenly took her out of the system and deleted the litter. So that's kind of like a bummer for me here. But I will fix it and we will go from there. Anyhow, Mr. Micah. All right. So then we have, right now his eyes are brilliant blue, but I can tell you they could change quite a bit. So even though their eyes are blue at this time, they can change up to 6 to 7 months old and even later than that. So I don't want to promise anybody that they're going to continue with blue eyes if I don't know for sure that they're going to continue with blue eyes. Could they? Absolutely. Dad has double blue eyes. What we've been noticing a lot of is multicolored eye, heterochromia. So you have one that's brown or you have specks of blue, actually very, very pretty colors. So this here is Mr. Garnet. Mr. Garnet is, get in the carburetor. That's Mama. She drank water too fast. Okay. So this is Mr. Garnet. He is kind of a reddish faunish color. I'm anxious to see what he's going to do when he gets older. He's actually very stunning, very, very, look at how cute that is. Very, very sweet puppy. Yeah. Oh, he likes that. And this is a time they start getting really used to people touches. People touches. So this is Mr. Garnet. Both of them have blue eyes. They're really beautiful. They're nice, bright blue. So I'm hoping that they stay bluish green, but I can't guarantee that they're going to stay that color. Hi, sweet boy. So this is Mr. Garnet. So let's get him. So they're starting to look more like puppies now than they have been. And Mr. Garnet weighs 2 pounds 4. Ooh, 2 pounds, 3 point, okay. 4.2. Okay, 4.2 is coming up often enough. So they're already trying to get up on their feet. They're going to start walking around here soon, and that's going to be the cute stage. So I am going to actually deworm him so I know that he's been done as well. There you go, my sweets. All right. And you know what? I didn't give enough to the other one, so I'm going to give him a little bit more because I did not give him enough. So there we go. Yeah, we just got to give you a little more, little man. Num, 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 num. All right, look at you. Huh, cutie patooties. So we have Micah and we have Mr. Garnet. And then we have the girl. Don't mind me. I got to go get the girl. This is Miss Ruby. Very, very pretty little girl. She as well at this time has blue eyes. But again, I cannot guarantee that her eyes are going to stay green, stay blue. They could turn blue. They can turn hazel. They can turn the heterochromia look where it's brown with blue specks in it. It's really hard to say what's going to happen. But this is the little girl. She's like, hello, I'm stretching. She arches her back. So this is a little girl. I still have to clip both of the Garnet and her nails, but that's okay. I could do that in a second. She's 2.78. 2.78. So they're all around the same weight. They're really amazing looking puppies. Look at these guys. I like litter sizes like this when they're like between 3 and 5 puppies because they get more from the mom. They get nicer, thicker. Doesn't mean they're going to be any less as that when they're adults. It's just I like to see healthy puppies. Well, not that they're unhealthy. It's just I like to see the nice chunky puppies. So with that said, Miss Ruby, again, this week, we're going to start seeing them moving around more. Don't mind me. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. All right, we're going to see them moving around more. We're going to see them starting to learn how to play, more of the whelping box. We will be doing our video vlogs, like I was saying earlier, of the pre-recorded, so that way it's not long, boring sections. We're going to actually be interacting with them. And so that way you can see their little personalities and they're playing. And as you can see, she's doing very, very good with her nail clippings. And this is what we want. If we continue this, they're going to be so used to having, let's get them a little bit closer in there. You're going to see them, you're going to see them continuing to be good with their nails. So it'll be very important when they go home. Give yourself a day every week, whether it's a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, where you say, okay, I'm going to clip their nails today. Even if it's just to go through the motions if they don't need to be clipped, so that way they don't become intolerant of it later on, okay? And we want to make sure that happens, is that they don't want to be intolerant of it. So I'm going to get her used to the vibration, so that way if their new parents want to use this type of thing to clip their nails, which I find is very safe, a lot safer. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be very long right now. It's just enough for them to get used to having them on the vibration on their paws. There you go. And then we'll get him done. There, so they all received their first deworming. Now, for those puppy owners, because of what I just did, I'm probably going to have to restart her whole profile again, which is fine, not a big deal. I'll restart her whole profile. I'll create the puppies a profile. I'll go back. I remember what they weighed when they were little. I remember what they weighed last week. So it's not going to be a big deal to put that back together. I just, with a computer program like this, you kind of tend to learn different things by your mistakes and having to fix them. So yeah, so these are our three little munchkins. We have Mr. Micah, we have Miss Ruby. They all have homes, and they are just absolutely precious and amazing. Amazing little ones. This is all new to them, and we're going to continue doing more stimulating activities so that they can get used to the different noises in the house and different activities. So yeah. So this week has been a very busy week for us. We had, what did we have? We had two of the French Bulldogs from Fire Sky Frenchies that went in for their physical exam. We are looking at pairing them up this year at some point. We're dependent on their heat cycles. So we really don't know when we're going to have French Bulldogs this year. So we have Tana and Violet that could potentially have French Bulldog puppies through our Fire Sky program. We already have a male picked out for both of them. So we had their physical done. We made sure they were up to date on their vaccines and that they were in prime physical health to be able to have a litter of puppies. Each of these females have only had one litter of puppies in their lifetime. This is going to be each their second, and more than likely it's going to be their retirement litter. It is going to be their retirement litter. So I'm trying to be very careful on what I say of the plans right at this time, because sometimes plans change. Sometimes we find out more information. So what I have been finding, and I'm going to continue working on, is trying to be transparent, but not be transparent too soon before I have all my information, all my ducks in a row. So with that said, the goal is to retire both of them after this next litter. However, only time will tell. Oh, good in. There we go. There we go. Goodness gracious. And then, see what else. Oh, Pepper. Pepper has been to the vet. She's had a workup. She's been checked out. She is A-OK. And she passes. She passed everything with flying colors. Her coat has come back in. I do have some video clips of her that we are going to be posting. She's back up to weight. We like to retire our girls early. So what we do, and this has been a discussion that we've had with multiple vets, with multiple breeders, what we do is we breed them early. And we don't like to overbreed them. So we breed them early. We let them have their litters. And then once we find that it's time for them to retire, then we retire. Each girl is different. We've had several girls. We've had 4 girls in the last year that we've retired that have only had one litter of puppies. So each and every dog is assessed every single time they have a litter. We do have a max number of litters in our mind that we stop at. No matter what, we stop at. But it's always a case by case. They have their first litter. How did that litter go? How did mom do? How did the puppies do? Our focus is primarily on them and what is best suited for them. Not all dogs are made to be breeders. Not all dogs. Okay. So with that said, we have Pepper. We have Pepper that is going to be bred again at her next heat. She is due to go into heat next month. However, it really, really depends. Sometimes they go in before, sometimes they go in the month later or 2 months later. So with the way that her cycle has been, she should be going back into heat in May, by May 14th. We will see. We are going to breed her again with Rue. They had the beautiful cream and fawn with masked puppies last litter. Amazing pair up. Great dogs. Great puppies, great personalities. And that's the pairing that we are looking at retaining from to build our, for the last 2 years, we have been observing, we've been looking at the different characteristics of our Frenchtons, because as we move forward and we go to create our line, we need to know exactly what we are looking for, what strengths that we are looking for our lines. And as much as we've had wonderful, beautiful puppies, we found that Peppers and Rouge puppies were a really great start of our line. Now, now I know that people like the Merle pattern. And I'm not saying we're not going to have the Merle pattern, because we will, but it's just not going to be as significant as it was before, not as dominant in our program as it was before. When you're breeding Merle, as much as we've had excellent results, we have not had any challenges because of the Merle gene. We have to be very mindful what we do with the Merle gene, because if you're not breeding correctly, you can have blind and you can have deaf, and you can have some significant neurological issues when it comes to your breeding program. So we will have Merle Frenchtons, but we are trying to create a line of diversity, of health. Health is always top of the list. So genetics is huge. And I have to thank the co-owner of Fire Sky Frenchies, the second program that we have in this home, for really teaching me a lot about genetics and what genes to put together for what and here and there. Once I get confident enough and I know more, then I'll be glad to express it. But until I'm confident, I won't go there, because I don't want to mislead anybody. But just to know, we will still have the Merle, because it is a popular pattern, not a color. It's a popular pattern. It's just not going to be, and it was never meant to be the prime pattern in our program. So, and that's the biggest part of why we are retiring Otto, is so that way we can have that diversity. The Merle gene is very strong in his lines. So with that said, there are these babies here. Does anybody have any questions about our program, about my new schedule that I talked about? We are going to be posting less shorts. When looking back and looking at the shorts, and I did read a lot of dead shorts on my channel, I found that people really want to see the cute puppy moments. So the educational part, there's enough educational breeders out there that the purpose of our shorts are going to be the cute moments, the cuddly moments, the cute moments, their first steps, their eating, those type of things. So we'll be focusing a lot on that. We're also going to, again, if you're just tuning in, we talked about my new schedule starting May 5th. Not May 5th. It'll be next weekend. I believe it's the 3rd. So May 3rd, we're actually jumped the gun here. We're going to be starting our new posting schedule. It is going to consist of more long form videos that are vlog style, that are not as many lives. We're just going to be doing our one live every Sunday. I really enjoy the community. I really enjoy conversations in our live streams. So if there's ever any questions while we're having our lives, go for it. We are also going to be posting at first starts once a week, maybe twice a week, 4 to 8 hour videos of our dogs, in clips of our dogs with an ambient music for a relaxing type of video. So it's going to be more strategic, more refined, better visual, better audio. And that's why I deleted 500 plus videos, because they were not the quality that I really wanted to see. I was more focused on monetization. And the reason why I was focused on monetization, you guys, is because every single aspect we do, I would have to say 75% of it is reinvested in our dogs. We do, so every time we home our puppies, the first thing is we do is we take care of the medical, we take care of the foods, the vitamins, and everything like that. One of our biggest goals is we want to get back to the raw feeding diet, and I was hoping that we could monetize that channel so we could go towards that. We also want to continue paying it forward and being able to reach out to a person in need. We've done it twice this year. We've done it twice this year. So this year I cannot foresee financially being able to gift a puppy. Actually, no, we've done it 3 times. We ended up gifting a puppy to a couple in a local area. We ended up gifting a puppy to the little young lady that just lost her dad in November. And that's the Healing Hearts puppy. And we are also donating a puppy. We're not sure which boy it is, but we're donating a puppy to a little boy that has autism. And he is very, very, very active in this litter. And he's just completely amazed me. What a great young man he is. But the therapeutic of a nature of a puppy to an individual that has autism can be very beneficial for them. It's very therapeutic, because sometimes they have a hard time reaching out and bonding with people, but they can tend to bond with a puppy quicker than with people. So anyhow, does anybody have any questions for me? Because I really hate to make this a short live stream. I guess I could, does anybody have any questions at all? I know if you're on the TV watching, you're probably not able to answer. I haven't been able to figure it out on the TV or anything like that. But yeah. So for this year, let's talk about North Country Little Pawz. North Country Little Pawz program, who is focused on the Frenchtons. We are expecting 1 litter of puppies, and that is Pepper's litter. We are planning on keeping or holding back a female for our breeding lines because we would like to retire Pepper when she's, well, it's not if we would like. We will be retiring Pepper at some point. But hey, how are you all in the family? How are you? Thank you. Yeah, I took everything off. I went back and I looked at them, and the low visual, the low everything. It was just crazy. I just didn't like it at all. And I'm like, you know what? I almost gave up on my channel. And I think what it is too is I have to stop comparing myself to other people that have channels that are breeders, because they have their way of doing things. And I mean, there are other breeders that are excellent when it comes to this type of thing. And this is something that I struggle with. So for me, this is going to be a lot better for me, and for the dogs and for my community, because it is more. Well, thank you. So, and we have 2 separate programs. We have our North Country Little Pawz, and then we have our Fire Sky Frenchies, and we haven't been doing videos on our Frenchies because this was a North Country Little Pawz channel. So this is not about selling dogs on this channel. This is about keeping families informed. It's about letting people know what we do. No matter if it's a French Bulldog or a Frenchton in our program, they get the same care, the same thought processes. You know what I mean? But they're just 2 separate programs. So moving forward, you're going to see a lot more of the fluffies. You're going to see a lot more of everything that we do. And if people are interested in our puppies, Yes, educational purposes. And if people are interested in our puppies, then we can direct them to the website that's appropriate, whether it's a Frenchton or Frenchie. And then, we have our 2 Facebook pages. One's considered North Country Little Pawz, and the other one is considered Fire Sky Frenchies. Facebook wise, it's a lot easier. I just didn't feel like I needed to have two YouTube channels just because I'm running 2 different programs for my home. Hi, little man. So cute. So this little guy here is Mr. Garnet. He is 18 days old. He's absolutely beautiful. He loves already getting his ears scratched. And yeah, he loves getting his ears scratched. And this is where we start playing with them more. Their eyes are open, their ears are starting to open if they're not open all the way. I think they're pretty much opened all the way, but yeah, they're open. Well, on the outside anyway, they look opened, but awesome. Yeah, I have one for North Country Little Pawz. I'm going to be looking at creating one for Fire Sky Frenchies. I just needed to, there's going to be some downtime between now and when Pepper has her litters. It's going to be about 5 or 6 months before our next litter is born. Well, no, it'll be about 2 or 3 months before our next litter is born. So I want to make sure that I work on that downtime. I work on the Fire Skies website to make sure that our Frenchies are exhibited or are shown. Because I with this YouTube channel, I always had to find myself, okay, when we'd have to videotape them or do our video when the other dogs are playing or they're sleeping in their kennel, and we had to separate them. Excellent. Yes. Yeah, we just did everything. We actually had to, in Maine, we had, they changed procedures. We went to go register. We have to register through the state, but we also have to register through the town. So we had gone and we registered through the town like we usually did by the 31st, just like every dog, you register your dogs every year. I know in Maine we have to. I don't know how other states do it, but here in Maine by January 31st, if you own a dog, you have to register it with the town every year. And so I went to go register my kennel, and then last week or the week before, I was notified that there's a new process now that I have to send the copies of my rabies certificates and the information on my dogs to the state themselves. So we have to register them not through the town, but we have to register them through the state. Plus, we also have to do our licensing through the state every year. So with that said, it's not a big thing. It's just change and whatever. So we're all set with that. So we're due to have our inspection here anytime. I mean, they can pop in any day of the week. They can pop in unannounced. They can come in to make sure that the dogs are kept in good condition, that they're not, that they're not being mistreated and not being taken care of. They also make sure that our paperwork is up to par. Make sure that they're vaccinated, and I mean, and it's a good thing. And I think that's that transparency of being licensed legally by being licensed is what really, needs to get done. So that way they can crack down on these abusive cases. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, there is a lot of abuse and neglect in the breeding world that it's just a shame to see and hear of. Have you guys seen about the beagles, the thousands of beagles that were just being warehoused? I think it had to do with something like research lab or something like that. Yeah, no, I don't believe in that stuff at all. And it's just a shame because, and this is just me rambling, us breeders that out for our dog's best interests and all this other stuff, we get put in the same bracket. We get put in the same bracket as I don't want to use labels, but breeders that don't have the same integrity. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So anyway, All in the Family. Did I understand right? You were getting another puppy for your program? I don't even know if you're still on right now. Oh my God, I can watch these puppies all day long. They're like, oh. Yes. Which one are you getting? Are you getting one from the current litter they have right now, or are you getting one from the ones that they're, I don't know if they've had them. I've been so back and watching videos, but I know that they were expecting another couple litters too. So yeah. So are you getting one from their current litter right now? I have to say, the puppy that's white, I don't even know if it was, I think they only have one female, but I don't even know if it's a male or a female, but the white one that has just, that's the one I like. Oh my God. Congratulations. That puppy is absolutely beautiful. The half face one is the one that I've had my eye on. I'm like, oh my goodness, that puppy is so gorgeous, so gorgeous. So, now is that a boy or a girl? Okay, so for those that are just getting into this conversation, there's another breeder that both All in the Family and I we watch, and I think All in the Family has actually a rapport with them, a relationship with them, and that's where he gets his dogs from, I believe. But they have this beautiful litter of Frenchies, and they have some pied with the merle like patches, and there was this one puppy that I'm like, gosh, oh my gosh, beautiful white, kind of looks like Otto, but has more white. And All in the Family, yeah. Well, you couldn't have chosen a better mentor. I watch their videos, I comment on them, but I'm really, really impressed in what they do. And honestly, I'm envious that they have this skill to have the quality of videos that they have. Do you know what I mean? They really, really do well for themselves, and they really, really care about what they do, and they're very compassionate to their animals. But yeah, that puppy that you have there, does he have blue eyes? Good. Fantastic. But yeah, that puppy is, that puppy's a wild puppy. Awesome. Well, congratulations. I think that that's a very sweet puppy for you. And yeah, I'm going to have to pick your brain about his genetics, because I'm telling you, he is absolutely gorgeous. Have you chosen a name for him yet? I don't remember. You need a stud in the camp. Absolutely. Well, my stud, due to, he's 3 years old, due to his strong Merle background, I decided that he's going to be fixed. Not because he's unhealthy, it's just because I want diversity in my program. So I am going to be looking at some point adding a male, but not right now. I just need to kind of step back a little bit,
We're jumping into the Frenchie part of our program. The girls, the two Fluffies and Primrose, they're still young. They haven't gone through their first heat yet, so it's going to still be a little while. It probably won't be until 2027 before they're bred. We want them to mature physically and mentally, and we need to be confident in things. You know, you never know. I mean, you never know what can pop up. So our plan is to breed them next year, but they still have to pass that criteria. Right now, they're excellent. They're just so beautiful. They're going through the different stages of puppy growth. And I think all in the family, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is that they get to a certain point, they get long and lanky, and they don't look like what a French Bulldog should be. But then when they fully mature, they widen out, and they're just these beautiful creatures, I say creatures, but they're magnificent looking animals. What we really like about our girls is their nares. Really nice, wide open nares. You know, that I'm just really excited about that program. Just as excited, if not more, just as excited as my Frenchton program. My Frenchton program is my love. We've created something really, really well, really great. And, you know, we want to continue this to be able to provide bulldogs for more active families. You know, focusing on both programs is a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. And yeah, so you know, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're going to get it done, and we're going to you know, and I'm anxious to really start working with those girls. Again, we have Tana and we have Violet, both of them who have just had 1 litter apiece. You know, Tana has been given the A-OK as of yesterday. I brought her into the vet, had her checked out by the vet. She's updated on her vaccinations. We've done the fecal. We've done all of that stuff. So that way, when she goes into her heat, we don't know. It's going to be sometime between now and November. She should be going into heat with a new location, because we just brought them in. We just brought them here. One I brought here at the end of November. The other one we brought in here in January. It can mess up. Yes. No, Frenchtons are not registered into the AKC. Frenchtons are a designer breed. All breeds start from somewhere, and this designer breed has an intention that I am hoping, and there's quite a few of us that do the Frenchtons, that eventually they will be recognized in the AKC. But as of right now, they are, you can register them through CKC, and how they do that. Is it CKC? I have not done that yet. And the reason I have not done that yet is because I wanted to really see where I wanted to build my lines from. So to be able to do that through the designer breed clubs, you have to have a KC registered parents, which we do. And then they can be registered through them. So you have to provide all that information. And this is a learning process that I'm learning. So with Pepper and Rue's puppies, we are looking at possibly getting them registered. The genetics from the Boston Terrier is that the more, how do I say that? You have athletic families that like to go hiking and they like to go sporting and all this other stuff. Okay. Frenchies have a tolerance level that they can go for a little bit, but then they have to stop. So with that said, these guys are a little bit more, if you're not on my Facebook page, you probably haven't seen the structure of the Frenchtons that we are doing. So we're looking for one that has a less So we're looking at bringing out their brachycephalic face a little bit so they have a little bit better time with exertion to breathe. We are looking at a little bit longer legs so they can keep up with their family if they decide to go for a nice longer stroll. You can bring Frenchies for long walks, but they have less of a tolerance than a Frenchton would. So these are basically more for active families, or they can also be couch potatoes as well. So they're a little bit more versatile. Don't mind me, I had blood work this week, so I've got a bruise on my arm. But so that's why we're doing that. Our hopes also was being less of a chance of needing C-sections. However, what we are finding is that no matter if we're breeding for Frenchtons or we're breeding for Frenchies, we have decided that with the exception of Pepper, that they've been a very good natural whelper for us, that we are looking at doing automatic C-sections for all of our girls, whether it's a French Boston Terrier that's having Frenchton puppies for us, or if it is a Frenchie. We've had, in the last year, we've had 2 of our Bostons that we've had to bring to an emergency vet for an emergency C-section. And it's not fun for us. And it's not fun for anybody, but unfortunately, for us in this area, we're very emergency care. And for us, the closest that we have for emergency is 3 hours away. Now, when you're dealing, yeah, they are a lot safer. I mean, you always want them to be able to deliver naturally. Well, our Frenchies, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. They were automatic C-sections, not living it up to the 10% chance. They're 10%. Okay, is it 80 or 90%? 80 or 90% of Frenchies require C-sections. I live too far away to risk my girls. So therefore, my vet is in 100% agreement. As a matter of fact, my emergency vets, because there's 3 of them that I've been to, they are in 100% agreement that our girls should be automatically scheduled. Yeah, 90%. That's what I thought. So that's why. Now with Boston Terriers, they are also a high risk for C-section, but not as much. And we've had some pretty good luck with some of our Boston Terriers, but we've had some pretty dramatic experiences with Nuggets. And then we had Tinker Stinker last year. Both of them, they needed C-sections. And like I said, the closest vet is 3 hours away. And if they're too busy to deal with you, the next one's 4.5 hours away. So instead of 3 hours, it adds another 1.5 hours to 4 hours. So to me, that's too high of a risk for any of our females. So I've been talking to my vet, and I've also been talking to the emergency vets that I've been going to. And they're all in agreement that for the safety of my girls, we're going to just have to suck it up and pay for C-sections. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. 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 You've got that 100%. And they can have some pretty big puppies here, because Boston Terriers alone, usually between 6 and 8 ounces. But when they're Frenchies, they can go up there in weight as well. And this is everything I'm saying is from my experience of what I have experienced in the last couple of years. So we have made that decision. All of our puppies are going to be born via C-section. Unfortunately, in our area, I don't know what it's area, but in our area, our C-sections are anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500. So they're very, very expensive. So unfortunately, we have to reflect to be able to keep on going the way that we're going. We have to, our fees have to reflect those increased costs, unfortunately. So we're going to be putting a hold 2026. We've already donated 3 puppies to the cause. And we're going to be putting putting a hold on donations for quite some time. It's high there too. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna hold off on more donations. We're probably gonna revisit it again in 2027. So we're gonna focus more on their care and making sure that the dogs are taken care of, and hopefully, if I can get other streams of income, because when you're a dog breeder, you need to have as many streams of income as possible. If I can get other streams of income, then we can look at possibly starting up that Healing Hearts and donating, to a person in need. But for right now, to be able to make sure that my dogs are taken care of, the one that we're donating out of Nuggets litter is going to be the last one for 2026. So that's why I had to kind of take a step back and think about my YouTube channel and say, hey, what am I going to do? Am I going to just give up this YouTube channel because it's not working? Excellent. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out when it came to the Frenchton program. It took me a while to figure out who my foundational female was going to be, because I'll tell you what, every single litter that we have produced, every litter that Otto has produced, and that's why I'm kind of sad that I haven't kept back from Otto. But I have been thinking about merch. Yes. We have somebody that can, I guess I'm really weird. I'm kind of wigged, I'm not wigged out, but I'm kind of weird where I don't want to copy what other people are doing. I see other breeders that are selling merch and how do I say that? I guess I have to stop and start thinking for our program. Yeah, definitely. I do. We do have our merch that we actually give to with our Go Home packages. We have our Go Home bags. We have cups that we send. We have magnets that we send. We have chains that we send. We have ourselves. We have T-shirts and sweatshirts. But yeah, I think I'm going to talk to the person that creates these for us and see about getting them and possibly some other stuff as well. But we have given away T-shirts. We've given away sweatshirts. We have given away our tumblers, and we've been giving, and we got to behave for a little bit, just as we're going through this transition. But we'll get there. We are, we have different things that we're looking at. But yeah, you're 100% correct on the merch thing. I'm overthinking things and just get our merch out there. And there's different things that I've been looking into as well, and have little some keepsakes, but I don't want to talk about it too much. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, these guys are sleeping well here. They seem to be very content. So these are my last Otto babies. If it wasn't for the fact that I already have plans for Pepper, I probably would have done another litter with her. But I really do want to repeat that cream litter and hold back from that. And then Mom's eventually going to need to be retired as well. So unfortunately, this is the last of the Otto litter. He's made some amazing puppies. He is going to be neutered at some point. He is not a self-breeder, so he does need AI. So we are going to be very careful when the girls go into heat, but we also know that it's made 2.5 years and he has not been able to be successful yet. So, but there's always the first time. So we will be very careful because we have very strict plans on our fluffy girls. There's certain genetics that we're looking at that we want to make sure that they are paired correctly. And it is meaning going to outside studs. Eventually, I'm hoping to have a stud of our own here, but we're working on just everything kind of like leveling out right now. We have a home for Miss Nugget, who is retired because of the events of her her first pregnancy, her first delivery. She was spayed during a C-section, and typically you'd want to wait till after the puppies are weaned, but her uterus was just because of the emergency circumstances, her uterus had really taken a toll. So that's what we've been working on. So we found her a home. We are looking at the 2 Frenchies from the Fire Skies that are hopefully going to be bred this year. And if they take, doesn't matter if they take or not, this is their last year. And then they're retired. We also have to look at not necessarily how many litters, but we also have to look at their age. You know, we don't want to be breeding too old of a dog. We want to make sure that they are in good prime condition. So that's what we're doing. So potentially have 3 litters this year, the 2 Frenchies and the 1 Frenchton, if they take. It all depends. But yeah. So with that said, I do have to get some stuff done. It was really, really wonderful talking with you guys today. I really did miss my live streams. The live streams are going to be more like, again, on Sundays at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that way I love this conversation, and I'm hoping we can have more people here and just talking as a community. I really like that. And then we also, we're going to be working at rebuilding my channel to where I am proud of the videos, because like I said, when I look back at my videos, I was like, these are crappy videos. At the time you're doing a live stream, they're great because you don't see the quality at that time. But the visual was just totally awful. And then I've got to learn to actually go back and clip like the beginnings and stuff. And there's a few other things that I need to do. I wish I was technically savvy like Rocher and Frenchies, because those 2 are actually amazing with videos. I cannot say anything negative about those breeders. But I am me, and I will do things a little bit different. That is something that I am capable of doing. And then maybe grow from there. We'll see how that goes. But what happened to Look at this little girl? Look at that. Hi, baby. What happened? She goes, oh my goodness. You want to say hi? She didn't like the position she was in, apparently. Yeah. All righty. Well, we'll see you guys again next week. And watch out for our updates. We're going to be having some vlog videos that are going to be informative of our day-to-day experiences and what we're doing. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. All right. Bye-bye.